Today we're reviewing the Ragley MMMBOP. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Chris for letting me borrow his bike. How many people would do that? Build up a bike and then hand it to a stranger and let him go take it on Sedona's trails. That is unheard of. Thank you. It's because of you guys and the amazing community we have that make this all so wonderful. If you haven't already seen my video where I do my first look and show you all the geo and all that, check that out. Today we're going to be riding it on one of my favorite trails, Teacup. Today I'm riding with Roman and Arno. Excited to hit the trail with you guys.
Yep.
Let's see what this bike's all about. We're on the lookout for snakes today. It's warm. Arno is a beast on his hardtail. You are going to see that. He is insane. Pedaling position feels good. It feels like the seat angle is steeper than the numbers suggest. Hello. Thanks. I'm the last one. Seating position's good, but with the 160, this bike wants to wheelie on the climbs. I think it's a little too over forked. Be better with the 140 or 150. It's a good little climber. It feels a lot like my other bikes. The geometry is sorted, nothing weird's going on. And it hasn't been harsh so far. We gotta see on the downs. We're also running 2.8s on this. Arno's on the new Torrent. Hope to get one of those for review soon. So I don't normally pedal strike at all. I've had 3 solid pedal strikes lately. Even on 170 cranks. I'm gonna have to look at the geo chart. This must have a low bottom bracket, which I normally love, but I'm hitting today. Oh, man. Bike feels properly aggressive. I like it. Steers with the feet. This is really fun. This bike handles really well. Hello, thanks, I'm the last one. This Yari feels really good. I don't mind that lower end damper. Arnie's a beast. It's so cool to see. Okay, so this frame is not harsh. I'm really surprised. I'm impressed. Feels a little softer than the Fuse. So this is softer than most aluminum hardtails. Nice job, Ragley. If you're looking at value frames like the nuke-proof Scout or the common Sol Meta, definitely give this a look. I'm impressed on this bike for the price. Fun bike. It kind of erases itself and I don't think about it. Reminds me a lot of my Banshee and my middle child. Really surprised how not stiff it is. That front end needs to be a little lower. I would not over fork this bike like this. It's a little bit too slack for some of these climbs. I'm impressed. got really good control. The reach feels good. It's a 440 reach. Feels good seated. Feels good standing. Ooh, I like that line. Yeah, this bike's really comfortable. Not beating me up. If you're looking for a budget hardtail, I'd take this over the Commensal 100 times over. Way more fun, way more in control. I'm impressed with this Recon as a front tire. It's actually doing quite well. Never run it in the front before.
Oh, freestyle, boy.
Yeah, this is a fun bike. Likes to jump, play around. It corners so well. Feels really confident on the downs. This would be a fun one to under fork like I did with my Banshee. Stack feels great. Yeah, I'd love to try this with a 140 fork. This bike's good. It feels a lot like my Banshee and my middle child. I just keep forgetting I'm on a different bike. Oh man, you need a good hub for this stuff, and I do not have one. Whew. Thanks a lot. Oh. Tag my shoulder on one of those trees. Yeah, this is fun. It wants to party. I always make this 100% of the time. Let's see if I still can. Yep. It's good. Oh, gross. Yeah. Nice move around it. Yeah. Man, I don't know what I'd change about this bike. That doesn't happen very often. If you want to bomb downhill on it and race enduro, you might want a slightly longer chainstay. And if you want to play around, goop around bike, you might want something slightly shorter. But I don't know, I think 425 is a good size. I'm really impressed by this. That's an interesting place to park the bike. Oh yeah!
Great guy.
This feels so confident on that really steep stuff. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed how compliant this frame is, all things considered. I'm feeling it a little bit. It's pretty close to my Banshee. I'm impressed. It's like the poor man's Banshee that's more available. Nice job, Ragley. This bike corners so well. Yeah, this is my #1 budget big. If you want to build up a cheap frame, this is awesome for this kind of riding. And I'll bet you this ends up being awesome underforked as like a mini trail / XC ripper. The faster this goes, the more in control it is. Feels more aggressive than the Specialized Fuse. It feels more aggressive than the Orbea. This bike is up there with some of my favorites. It's a good bike. So this is more aggressive than anything I've ridden just about, except the Middle Child, and it's right up there with the Banshee. Maybe even a tad bit more aggressive than the Banshee. And by aggressive, I mean charging down really steep stuff, really hard trails, just flying down them. The faster you go, the more composed this thing is. Really fun bike. So much control on it. It's got a short seat tube, which I love. One of the first bikes I can run a 150 dropper on with a few inches of seat post in it. Corner's so good. I would pick this over the Steel Middle Child. I think it's a little bit softer. Although the Steel Middle Child is more versatile with sliding dropouts and the rear end can get shorter. But man, this is just a great set it and forget it ripper. Super impressed. And the seat angle feels steeper than it is on paper. That's a good thing. When I grow up, I want to ride like Arno. Good little climber. I'm gonna be transparent. I had pretty low expectations for this bike. It's a cheap bike. It's mail order for a lot of people. It's aluminum. It looks really stiff. I just thought it'd ride like the Common Sol, and I couldn't have been more wrong. This bike blew me away. This I highly recommend for aggressive riding, especially if you want to build one up on the cheap. It's not quite as soft as the Banshee, but it's close. It's a pretty forgiving aluminum frame. It's almost as forgiving as a Chameleon, but I'm really blown away. It was fun in all situations. If you're an XC racer, you're probably not gonna pick this as your bike. If you're an enduro guy, or you like to play around, or you like to goof off and ride hardtails hard, holy cow, this was really fun. I would run it probably in 140 mil fork mode. I feel like 160 is too much fork for this, and I think 150 might be too much too, depending on where you're at. But I was really blown away. Let's rate this thing. Climbing, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I had a hard time on a couple technical climbs. I don't know why. It could be my fatigue level. I felt like I got a lot of pedal strikes, but on the slow, chunky technical moves, I struggled on this a little bit. Cornering, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Descending, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Playfulness, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. This bike blew me away. I know I don't seem very animated right now. I'm exhausted. I've been riding every day this week and putting in long miles on the single speed, and my legs are trash. And so I wasn't riding 100% today, and my energy level is low, but my enthusiasm for this bike is way up. I think Ragley knocked it out of the park with this thing, and you can build this up cheap if you know how to shop for your parts. Like, this is 11 speed. just fine for what we did. I did not need Eagle with the Yari, just fine. I love that Yari. I would ride that all day long, and it has me thinking maybe I should get a Revelation or maybe even a 35 for some of my other builds just to save money. I don't need a crazy damper on a hardtail. Let's compare this to some other bikes. How does this compare to the Banshee? Very close. It rides very much like the Banshee. If I were blindfolded, the only difference I think I would feel between the two is the Banshee's slightly softer in the back and slightly stiffer in the front. I love the cable routing. I love the cable ties. They did a really good job with those. I love how the dropper goes out the side. Really tidy routing. I love that it's all external except for the dropper. That's how a hardtail should be. What would I change about this bike? They're all sold out right now. I would make them more available and make more of them. This bike is a riot. How does this compare to the Commensal? It's 4 times better. It knocked it out of the park. I would take this any day over the Commensal. Way more fun. So who is this bike for? This bike is for someone who's not afraid to try a company that they haven't thrown a leg over before, probably. This bike is for people who like to charge hard or who like to feel confident on steep stuff. Even if they're not charging hard, the bike will help make it easier on the really crazy stuff, on steppy stuff, on ledgy stuff, on steep stuff. I would have no problem taking this on Highline or the double black diamonds here. I felt right at home with it instantly. It feels very modern. It's very much in control. It feels very aggressive. It feels just like my middle child and my Banshee. It's right up there with them. And when I'm riding a lot of these bikes, I kind of clump them into categories in my head. Like there's okay bikes, there's good bikes, there's great bikes, and then there are exceptional bikes. This bike is bordering into the exceptional. The only other bikes I'd say that are exceptional are, most other bikes fall in the good and great category. This is a fantastic little bike. I love it. Great standover. Look how much of my seat post is showing. That never happens for me. This is a size medium. Finally, a company understands that we don't need super long seat posts. I could probably run a 170 on here. I love that. It doesn't quite hop into a manual quite as easily as a Chameleon or the middle child. So you have to lift the wheel a little higher to get into the manual position, but once you're in it, it holds it really well. This bike reminds me of 90 to 95% of the Banshee. And that's saying a lot because you know I love the Banshee. That's one of my favorite bikes. I'm impressed. Thanks, Chris. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hitting me up. I have the best viewers and subscribers and patrons. You guys are the best. You are what make this worth doing. And without you, I would not be doing this. So thank you for the support. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for following and subscribing and liking and telling your friends about this and helping this channel grow. There's a party in the mountains and you're invited.